Well, hello, it's Dexter and me, back again with more totally unnecessary ramblings to ruin your day. It's a terrible day here. It's pouring out rain outside. It's forecast to rain for most of the day, so we're stuck indoors. And today, for a change, we're in our conservatory. Don't think I've ever filmed in here before. Anyway, a quick spoiler alert before we start. There is absolutely no consumer advice in this video today, as usual. I'm just trying to talk myself into another new lens, so this is going to be a few minutes of my personal thoughts and opinions. So if you find that offensive, sorry, and welcome to YouTube. You can always switch off and go and watch a video about some puppies playing if you want. If you are still here though, and then well done, thank you for your patience, persistence and perseverance. And perhaps you can help me in my quest for a new lens. Now, I've always enjoyed macro photography. I've never been very good at it, but I've always enjoyed looking at really well shot and really well produced macro close-up images. And I've always enjoyed having a go myself. I find it really, really interesting. It's quite therapeutic to sit down and take images. So I've always enjoyed that genre of photography, even though, as I said, I'm no good at it. Right, I'm no good at it. When I used to have my Nikon cameras, I shot my macro stuff with a 105mm f2.8 G lens, which was absolutely superb. The images out of that were crisp, sharp, brilliant. You could get really close to your subject with it. It was a true one-to-one macro lens. But it was also a good portrait and short telephoto lens as well. And when I bought my Fuji X-T2, I of course wanted a lens to replicate that. Now the only macro lens that Fuji produced was the 60mm f2.4, and they called it a macro lens, but it's not really a true macro lens in that sense of the word. It's not a one-to-one magnification lens. What are you looking at? Look this way, Dex. It's not a one-to-one magnification lens. It's a 1:2 or a 2:1, whatever they call it, I'm not sure. The close focusing distance isn't very close, and the actual autofocus is really, really slow. I mean, pedestrian-like. I bought some cheapo extension tubes. That made things a little bit better, so I then bought Fuji's own proprietary 16mm extension tube, and that made things better still, but pretty well rendered the lens useless for anything other than macro work, because the plane of focus is so close and so narrow you can't use it for anything else. And earlier this year it broke. The autofocus motor stopped working altogether. The aperture ring became very, very stiff, so clearly something had gone wrong inside the lens. Fuji did fix it. You're right. Fuji did fix it free of charge quite quickly, which was excellent service. And it's got to the point now where I don't even take macro images anymore. And it's a shame, because when I struggle to get about, or I am housebound for periods, I need my photographic fix. And Dexter's fed up of modelling for me, poor thing. Turn around so people can see. Look, turn this way. There we are. There's a good lad. And if I asked my wife to model for me, she'd become instantly suspicious and probably file for divorce. So my mind has quite naturally wandered to getting a new lens for macro work. And without using any adapters, which I want to avoid if I can, I think I've got 3 true macro lens choices, as far as I can see anyway. And they are the Fujinon 80mm f2.8, the Samyang 100mm, or Rokinon if you're in America, 100mm f2.8, and the Zeiss whatever it's called, the Zeiss 50mm f2.8. They all have their pros and cons, so as usual, deciding which one to get isn't easy. The obvious, easy, lazy choice, if you like, is the Fuji. It's relatively long at 80mm, so 120mm full frame equivalent. It's got excellent autofocus, excellent Fuji build quality. Forget about what happened earlier in the year. But the price, it's £1,150, a chunk of money. And to be honest, it's right at the limit of what I can afford to spend on a lens. The Samyang then is a much less expensive alternative. It's about the £400 mark, but it's manual focus. Now that's not really a problem with macro images, because I tend to manual focus for macro anyway. But if I want to use it for portraits or for short telephoto use, then the lack of autofocus is going to be a bit of a bind, I think. And if I were to go down the manual focus route, I'd probably buy a second-hand Nikon 105mm again and just use an adapter. That then leaves the Zeiss, however you want to pronounce it. I know nothing of Zeiss lenses. I've never owned one, I've never used one. I think I've even seen one, to be honest. But their name is very, very highly respected, and I would imagine that the build quality and image quality are going to be first rate. But the snag with that lens is it's only a 50mm, so is it going to be long enough for me? And the price of that lens is about £720, £730, round about there. Now, I really want to get the new GoPro Hero 7 Black as well, so that probably, to be honest, rules out getting the Fuji. I can't afford the GoPro and the Fuji lens. For the price of the Fuji, I could get the Zeiss and the GoPro, and for the price of the Zeiss, I could get the Samyang or a second-hand Nikon and the GoPro. So which one do I get? Which one would you get? Do you use one of these lenses? Can you recommend one above the other? I'd be really glad to hear in the comments below of any recommendations, or if I missed a lens out altogether. I'd like to know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. No, scratch that bit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Dex. We'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.
I just wanna love her like any other. What do I get? I only want a friend who stay to the end. What do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get? I'm in distress, I need a caress. What do I get? I'm on the make, I just need a break. What do I get?